Hello YouTube, it is ChampionDJK coming at you again with another video, and this is part 2 and the final part. This is just a 2-part little series here of my Iola Classic Car Show haul. If you need an explanation for what Iola is, or the Iola Car Show is, go ahead to the part 1 video. If you have not watched that yet, go ahead to that. That explains it, but there is really no other reason to have to watch these in any sort of order. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. I did want to show these real quick. I'm not going to open these up, but I did pick up, because I'm going to do a Greenlight video, and that's where I will open these. But I did pick these up, these Lowrider. This is from Lowrider series, I don't know. What series is this? Series what? Limited edition. Does it even tell me? Oh, Series 5 already of Lowriders? Jeez Louise. All right, so I picked up those two, that one, and that one. And I will show those eventually. I just want to get those out of the way, because really this video is more about the weird stuff that I picked up. This is the only thing I'm not going to show right now, because I'm going to do a Greenlight video, like I said. So I'm going to save those for Greenlight time. That this pile of weird stuff right here is really what this video is going to be about. I picked up some weird stuff. So if you've seen part 1, you know what kind of stuff we're kind of into here for part 2. Kind of similar items, odd brand stuff. There's a Matchbox right there. There's some normal stuff, but some pretty cool items. Some pretty cool, weird, interesting diecast, which seems to be the direction my channel has been going lately. It's not really intentional that way. It's just that's what I've been finding, and that's what I've been thinking is cool. So there was a seller there in particular that had a ton of stuff on these, like just cut cards that were in random boxes. You just dig into the box, find a treasure, and basically was selling them for about $1 a car. And that is pretty good for me. I dig that. A bunch of weird stuff. We got a Majorette just to kick things off right here. Nothing too crazy, but interesting to me nonetheless. Maybe not to you, but we got one thing that I really scored a really good deal on back there. We'll get to that in a second. But a lot of weird stuff. I got a bunch of Majorette, some off-brand stuff, some Z toys, some other just weird stuff. So stick around. So anyway, let's get into it. This is part 2 again. We got about, I don't know, probably 25 cards or something to go through. This is a Majorette dump truck. Looks like a Peterbilt, or it is a Mack, actually. Sorry about that. Majorette 1/100th scale. This is a plastic base, but the dump trailer, or the dump bed, is metal, which a lot of times you don't get a metal dump bed in one of these. And then you've got, and I'm not saying one of these in particular is Majorette, just anytime anybody does a dump truck, typically this is going to be plastic. Metal. This is metal. We got the classic kind of Majorette wheels, kind of a classic Majorette. This is probably not a made in France one, but very, very cool, right? I mean, not that cool, but it's kind of neat. I think it's kind of neat. Check out this thing. This thing I thought was really neat. This is a ice cream truck, obviously, with an ice cream cone cut into the side of it. So, and again, a lot of these are on, all these pretty much that we're looking at today are on these cut cards, so I don't really have the full card art, or we're not going to really be able to dig in and tell what year they came from, stuff like that. We're not going to see that. The plastic is all yellowed on this, but here is our ice cream truck. And honestly, this thing is kind of neat. Look at, we got an awning that comes out. Check that out. A little awning. That's kind of cool. And this this ice cream cutout in the side is really neat. I think that's very cool. There's the front end. It's got a trailer hitch on it. It is a Majorette fourgon. I don't really know what that is. It's in 1/67 scale, and it is made in France. Metal base, metal body. It's got suspension. I love the suspension. We talk about that a lot in part 1. But I love the suspension. That bounce factor, I think, is really, really cool, and I wish they would bring that feature back in diecast. I think Majorette nowadays still has some of that bounce. It would be cool to see it back, like in Matchbox and stuff. So these are all dirty. They've been hanging out in bins, yada, yada, yada. All right. 2 little oddballs there. Then we got this guy, which is, I'm really bad at like identifying really old-timey cars like this. But I know that this is a Road Champs. We're going to have to try to get it open somehow, which is going to be a challenge because... oh no. Try that. There we go. Yeah, it's a Road Champs made in China. It is a Ford Model A. And as you can see, we got some opening features. We got the back seat there that closes, and then we've got some opening doors on the side. And this one's also got the bounce. So yeah, this is made by Road Champs or JRI Incorporated. This has a metal base, metal body, actually metal all around. This is metal too. This black piece right here is also metal, which a lot of times when you get old-timey cars like this that have those kind of fenders that lie outside of the body line, those are typically plastic, but not in these Road Champs. I did a video on Road Champs a while back because I bought like a lot of them off of a person, and I really liked them. I thought they were cool, and I did kind of a video about them, and I thought that those were neat, so look out for that on my channel. It's in the same playlist that this is going to be in, by the way, in the vintage, older, secondhand haul lot, stuff like that. Anything I got secondhand that I did like a haul video on, it's all in that playlist, so that's a cool one to check out. All right, let's check out this Camaro. This appears to be, I'm going to guess that this is actually Z Toys or Zylmex. It's showing you all the pieces that were involved in making the car, it looks like. It says it's got real working suspension, so you know I'm excited about that. Let's go ahead and open it up. And yeah, this is definitely a Z Toys casting. You can tell typically because they always had this like, a lot of them had this like weird textured base that looks like Tolex, like an amplifier. Camaro, just says D92 Camaro. It's got kind of Majorette-ish wheels though, with those multiple dot wheels. And it's got the bounce. This thing's pretty sick looking actually. I thought this was pretty neat. I like a yellow Camaro. Kind of an awkward little cutout right there. It's on both sides, so I guess it's meant to be. But I think this is pretty awesome. Number 5, Goodyear. It's just cool to find old oddball stuff like this in like mint shape, because normally these cars were never thought of as being collectible, a bunch of them. And nobody really collected them or thought to hang on to them. Like by now in the 80s, like people already knew like red lines were kind of a thing to collect, I'm guessing, and people started taking care of Hot Wheels already and keeping them in the package. In probably the late 80s, I would say, is when they really started keeping them in the package. And all of this little off-brand, like weird stuff really just got, you know, this is the thing that grandma bought you or something like that. You wanted Hot Wheels, but grandma bought you this odd brand stuff, and then you just, you know, ripped it up, played with it, smashed it in the sandbox, you know, all sorts of stuff like this. So in my theory, okay, and it could be wrong, is that a lot of this stuff did not survive in mint shape. So to find this stuff like in cut cards and in packages in stuff like that is neat to me, because I think it's, in a way, a lot more rare than finding a Hot Wheels in pristine condition from the same era. Okay, and I could be wrong, right? But I'm probably not. You guys let me know what you think. All right. This one is a Z Toys as well. And, oh, they had a Datsun wagon and a Z Toy? I think that's what this is. A Porsche 936. Sometimes I save these little card backs to go search for some of these cars because I didn't know they existed. This is a Geno's, I think 240. Let's go ahead and open it up. But it is, yeah, it is a Z Toys or Zylmex or whatever the heck it is. And see, it's got that kind of Tolexy looking base. Z Toys on the base. Now this one didn't have the Z Toys, so I'm not really sure on it, but usually that signature thing is that Tolex looking base. If you don't know what Tolex is, it's typically like amplifiers are covered in it, like guitar amps, stuff like that. It's got that kind of look to it. But this is cool because I'm collecting all these castings. I don't know if I have this one yet or not. I might, but if I do, I've got another, and that's okay. We got a little like flea bite here in the corner. The paint didn't really survive, but other than that, it's in like blister pull condition, basically. I was talking to the guy too, and I'm like, no, this is really cool. You got all this stuff on cut cards. I'm not a carded collector. I'm going to open it all up anyway, so it's great that it was preserved in mint in the blister, and now I'm able to pick up a bunch of stuff loose and actually kind of have an opening experience. I just dropped it. Having opening experience without, you know, fully damaging card art, all that stuff, whatever. All right, before we get in, let's get this big guy out of the way. And this is a Ferrari Testarossa. This is a Matchbox, like, battle weird series. I'm not really familiar with it. This is Matchbox. So, yeah, 1987, a Testarossa casting. This one should be interesting. Open it up. We got a lot of accessories with this. This might have had, like, instructions or something. Not really instructions, but might have showed you how to put it together. We're going to have to just guess because we don't have the proper card to figure that out. Looks like we've got some missiles and stuff. Our windshield has been replaced with something. Maybe this is a self-driving car. It has a metal base, metal body, which I think is pretty typical of this actual Testarossa casting. I've got a bunch of different variations of this particular casting. Let's see if we can figure out how to put it together very quickly here. I don't want to spend a ton of time on it, but we've got, I think that's supposed to snap into there. This piece, I think, would only make sense to, oh, yeah, so this goes actually like this. Snaps into the front like that, and then this, and it's supposed to actually go, this is supposed to go on top of this, like that. Let's see if I can get it to fit in there properly. We're going to get it close, so I'm not going to monkey with it too much because I don't want this to take up too much of your time today. And the miscals go, I would assume, like that. This thing is loaded and ready for battle. It's got suspension. It's got that bounce. Cool Testarossa, though. I wish there would be an easy way to just swap out the window and make this a regular release, but kind of a neat little Matchbox and an oddball at that. Very top-heavy Testarossa. I don't think this would be the correct car to take into battle. It's like a twisted metal Testarossa. All right. Kind of cool. What do you guys think? Kind of neat. Kind of neat, I think. All right. Hard Hats Construction Co. This is going to be a Road Champs, I believe. It looks a lot like a Matchbox casting, but I believe this is Road Champs, made in Hong Kong. I did not pay $5 for it. It's got that bounce. Oh, man, and it's got, like, really good bounce. Very cool. There's a couple of these there. I should have picked up a couple of them. Spread them around a little bit. This is the GMC High Roller from Road Champs. Metal base, metal body, plastic in that. That's just so cool. I really like it. I've said it a bunch of times. I think it should be in modern diecast. I think they should put in the suspension. Tomica Premium, Tomica Limited Vintage. Those guys do it. Majorette does it still, I believe. You do not get it. Never really had it from Hot Wheels. And you do not get it from Matchbox, but there were older Matchbox that had it. I think it's a cool feature. Just makes it more fun, I think. So this is a cool truck, little GMC square body. I think that's neat. We got a Matchbox. Look at this thing. This is an Isuzu, right? Yeah, Isuzu Amigo. kind of a cool cat. Yeah, it's got that bounce. That's very cool. 1993 looks like this one's from. At least that's the copyright date on the back of the package. That doesn't really tell us as much as we'd like it to, but it does get us in the ballpark, and this is a nice little casting. Again, I told you, we got some weird stuff today, and I hope you enjoy it. You may not enjoy it as much as I do, but I am fascinated with this stuff. I love going through this, like, just old crap. And some of it's garbage, but some of it's really cool. Let's get to a couple cool things real quick that I know that everybody's going to enjoy. Let's start with this Johnny Lightning 1995 Chevy Caprice from JL Collection. Copyright date on this package is 2001. You get to actually crack open a proper card there. Pretty cool. Cool car. Big old car. Older casting. It looks like 1999 is the copyright date of the actual tooling for this 95. Rubber tires, metal body, metal base. And I think it's cool. That's really neat. And then this thing. I paid $5 for this, and this is a steal for this particular car. This is a Revell Lowrider Magazine. These are pretty desirable. And this is the Impala SS, 1996 Impala SS. This came out, we're going to guess around 2003, 2004. And these are pretty sought after. Anything in that in this series, this Lowrider Magazine series, is pretty sought after. And getting them on eBay can get expensive. I think this car can go for like 35 bucks, something like that, 35, 40 bucks, which isn't like terrible, but I mean, it's pretty expensive. Considering I got it for $5, I think I got it for quite a good deal. This one's got an opening hood. A lot of these lowrider castings, though, actually were more proper lowriders, like the Greenlight stuff I showed but didn't show. They did a few different variations of this particular Impala SS, though. This one has an opening hood. A lot of the other ones in those lowrider series did have articulating suspension and also had opening trunks. So opening hood, opening trunk to show like the hydraulic setup and all that stuff in the batteries. And then they had the suspension. But this is a pretty cool model. I definitely dig it. I got a little bit of a goober right there in the paint, but that's okay. Again, $5 for it. I'll take it. I've got a pretty extensive collection of these lowriders. Not extensive, but quite a few of them. And they're fun to collect. They're fun to grab whenever I can see them and see them, you know, inexpensively pick them up. Because you guys know I'm cheap, and we try to keep it that way. Just because, you know, and I get more stuff. I got more stuff to show. And you don't have to spend a ton of money to get some cool stuff. Here's what I'm guessing is a Summer Toys. These are terrible. These are terrible castings, but I picked it up because it's a Porsche and whatever, and it was odd. Here, I'd show you, and again, it's on a card. So we have to try to open it. We'll do this to open it. Blue box. Not Matchbox, Blue Box. Made in Macau, though. Blue Box toy. I thought this was going to be Summer Toys, but I guess not. Whoa. Look at that. It's got a little gear thingy there. That is not a pullback. That is very much just for the sound. There's a mic right here. Okay. Kind of interesting. So it's got plastic wheels, but there's like a rubber band basically around this back one. It's weird. It's a Porsche 993, right? And I guess I'll take it. It's kind of cool. Let's set it right there. Or 930 is it? I can't never remember the damn numbers. It's a 911. So there. How's that? 930. I think. That one. I'm probably wrong. All right. Excuse me. Next is I think this is another Road Champs. This one actually got stapled back together. We got an Audi an Audi Sport monster truck, but you can take the monster truck wheels off, I believe. So this was like a weird series. Oh, this is Matchbox, actually. Never mind. So this is a Matchbox. Matchbox is a registered trademark, 1984. That's cool. I didn't know that. Obviously, I didn't know that because I thought it was a Road Champs. I know Road Champs, you know, made some monster trucks, stuff like that. We actually got one coming up. We should probably just do that next. But this was one of those things where you can actually add these monster truck wheels to anything, including an Audi rally car. Let's do this though. There you go. There's the actual car. I don't know if this was released as an individual blister pack or what. It kind of screwed up the wheels over time, which is too bad. Those are some yellowed and dusty windows. I guess this thing's really been in the dirt. It's got that bounce. But yeah, so this just kind of locks into the wheels and then gives it that monster trucky look. Which I don't actually, honestly, I don't know if I'm going to, I don't think I'm going to keep it as a monster truck. I think I'm just going to keep the car. I don't know if I have, I don't think I have this in my collection as a regular Matchbox, so I think that's just how we're going to keep it. It's metal base, though. Metal base, made in Macau. Metal base, metal body, cool Audi Quattro. And I think it's a neat casting just by itself. Duck hams. Interesting. All right. That's cool. Let's look at the other monster truck we got. It is a Toyota, and this thing's cool. This thing's got, this is a Road Champs. I'm nearly positive on that. But I guess I was nearly positive on the last one, and it turned out that it wasn't a Road Champs, but this packaging kind of looks familiar. We've definitely got suspension. You knew that was going to be there. This is actually MC Toys, which is Maisto, right? So it looks like, again, I was incorrect. What's interesting is it's actually got this wire flag up here. Toyota off-road truck. Oh, it is a pullback. It was. There we go. Oh, can you pull it back and then... No, I don't know. Whatever. So Toyota off-road truck, kind of cool. Little odd piece of collection there. I usually don't collect a lot of stuff like this because it's just more difficult to store. If I can't fit it in a jammer or whatever, it's hard to store this stuff, and I don't just keep it on display. So usually I don't pick up stuff like this, but I thought this was cool enough to check. And that's part of the reason why I might just ditch these monster truck wheels, is because I really just don't... Storing it's pain. I could throw them in a bin or whatever, and they'll just sit there forever and never get looked at. So that's kind of my philosophy with that, but every once in a while I do pick up stuff like that. All right, we got a few items left. We've got a little minivan looking thing. This is a Majorette. I'll get it open here. Or Nova car, which I think was Majorette anyway. It says Nova car on it, but I'm pretty darn sure this is a Majorette casting. Someone will probably clear it up. No suspension. We actually have a plastic body and a metal base. I don't even know what kind of van this is. This looks almost like a Chevy Lumina, but it may not be. It really is a Majorette though. The wheels are Majorette. Everything about it is Majorette-ish. Espace. I don't know. Not much on it. Just Nova car. Nova car. Nova car on the packaging. I'm looking on the pack to see if there's any clues on here. Just not suitable for children, blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know. Not sure on that one. All right. Well, we've got actually quite a bit left here. All right. So here's a Majorette for sure. Looks like a Fox body Mustang. This is those fat wheel bump and jump style Majorettes. kind of cool. Mustang SVO 159 scale, apparently made in France. This one has the metal base. It's got the Majorette mounts. It's got an opening rear hatch. Always nervous opening these old things. With a backpack and some shoes in the back. Nice shot line. I think that looks pretty good. We got kind of inserted details for headlights that are really part of the window piece. Again, it's a big fat wheel Majorette. Look at that suspension travel. That's cool. I like these. I think they're neat. Again, it's old, it's weird, it's not for everybody. I get it. It's not exciting as getting the latest super treasure hunt, you know, for a lot of you. But for me, this stuff is just, it's a blast. I enjoy it. And that's, I guess, really what matters, right? All right. This is going to be a Z-Toys, I think. Because I have that Tweety ZX pullback, and this is probably going to be maybe a pullback, or is this Road Champs? All their packaging was like this, so I think it's Z-Toys. I'm pretty sure it's Z-Toys or Zylmex, whatever it is. Let's go ahead and open this up. It's kind of interesting packaging. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a pullback. This is a Racing Club Mercedes van. Mercedes 307D. Little pullback 164. Kind of interesting. I want to say I've got a version of this casting that I showed in the last part 1 of the video, and I did, I swear. And you know what it was? It was a, yeah, 307D. This guy right here, but this was a Maisto. So back in the day, just like now, actually, there are some castings that floated around to different brands, because that was not released as a Maisto. That had to be Z-Toys, because that was also on the package, right? So, on the back of the package. And that's a pullback as well. As usual, the plot thickens with some of this stuff. I'm going to save this little thing because there might be some cool cars to hunt for. So that's also fun as well. Interesting. So there's a lot of castings that got released by different companies. Yapming stuff got released generically. All that other stuff. It happened a lot. This is, I believe these are Racing Champions. Maybe not. Dollar Tree distribution. Okay, so we got some Dollar Tree. It might have said, I don't know what it said, something wheels there. Maybe it'll tell us on the inside of this. I thought this was like a Racing Champions. Oh, it is. These are like Dollar Tree Racing Champions. This is a 49 Mercury. These got plastic tires. 49 Merc, and we've got a 78 Pontiac. Plastic tires, metal body, really basic Racing Champions, but kind of neat. Kind of a weird 2-pack. You're putting like a weird old Mercury and a Firebird in a 2-pack. They don't really, these cars don't really have a connection to each other, do they? But, you know, real basic. We got some detail up front, not much in the back there. A little bit of detail on the tail lights here. Pretty neat, pretty cool. All right, let's move on. What should we do next? Let's see. We've got, we have a Hot Wheel here. Let's just get this out of the way. I don't know why I have this. I'm pretty sure I've got a pristine version of this, but you know, you never can have too many 80s Firebirds. This is an older Hot Wheels casting. I'm gonna guess this is from like 1980. This card would have been, I'm gonna guess like 89 actually. Something like that. Oh. 88, 89, somewhere in there. That's weird. What's going on with that window? Did I just open up an error? Oh no. Well, the It doesn't really matter. The card is gone anyway. The back windshield did not get molded out all the way. Look at that. So that's kind of cool. I guess if I do have it, I've got some weird error of it. I loved this when I was a kid. This was one of my favorite Hot Wheels when I was a kid. Was this, of course, this was like the closest thing that I had to Kit, Knight Rider, even though it's not it, but it's the closest thing I had to it, and it pretty much is it. But I've really loved it as a kid. I loved this, having this car. I thought it was very, very cool to have. And I guess it's cool to get a little weird error. Interesting thing. All right, Maisto Special Edition. Some of these castings ain't bad, I'm telling you. Some are like reused Matchbox castings and stuff, made of Macau stuff. But again, there's a lot of weird stuff like that going on. This is a Buick stock car, and look at that, number 24. It's got a little bit of that bounce. Made in China, Buick LeSabre stock car, Maisto. When Maisto made some pretty cool stuff. They've always kind of made a couple of cool things here and there. And pretty basic. And we got a little chipski in the corner. I could have bought, he had another one of these there too. I should have bought two. I mean, for as cheap as they were, I should have just bought two of some of this stuff just because it would have been fun, you know, to compare. Like if I got one with a chip in it, maybe I want one without the chip in it. Maybe I could move some on to some other collectors. That would have been fun. You know, hindsight's always 20/25, 20/24. Would have been good, but I didn't, so I apologize. Very cool though. Cool little stock car. I think that's nice. We still have a few pieces here, so we got to get rolling. This is a Z Toys 3-pack, value pack. And again, it's fun to keep this stuff. There's Datsun 280. I think I've got that. Not that exact one, but we do get it done. Oh, we're missing the steering wheel right off the bat. See, and again, he had two of these. I could have bought two of these too. Shoot. Our steering wheel, we're just going to shove back down there. Ooh, the steering column's all the way in. This is a Z Toys Vauxhall. Oh, that's wild. 1941. Would have never like looked at this and been like, that's a Vauxhall, however you pronounce it. Metal. Yeah, this is all metal, except for this strip down on the bottom is plastic. The rest of it is metal. This is plastic, obviously, the seats and stuff. That we know the steering wheel's plastic. And all the little chrome bits. That's actually metal in the front. This is plastic. Interesting. No bounce. Z Toys. Datsun 300ZX. Look at that casting line. Boo. I should have got the other 3-pack. Why didn't I? Because I didn't think it through. Would have been nice. This is cool though. I think I've got another version of this too in a different color. I think blue. But that is pretty nifty. And then this Corvette. I'm pretty sure I've got another one of this Corvette too. And this is like the lightest weight casting ever because this whole bottom piece is all plastic and the body, the metal, is just this thin upper body piece to create that like color break right there, the interior making that red stripe. It is like one of the lightest 1/64 scale-ish cars I've ever held in my hands that had any sort of metal in it. Yeah, all right, weird and cool, and I like it. Majorette Ford Thunderbird, made in France. Definitely didn't have a version of this one. This one looks weird. Why does it have... It's really got a post to hold up the hood? Why is that? Why does it have that? It's got the bounce. What do I do here? I'm in a little bit of a dilemma. Like, I guess we leave that there, or you choose to break it off, or is it supposed to be broken off, and the only reason why it's there is to display that the hood is open? I'm going to do it, guys. I'm sorry. Now we have a shut hood. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, I don't know. But I did it. I'm sorry. The hood doesn't really sit down flush, which maybe I didn't break that off at the right spot, but I'm pretty sure that's what you're supposed to do. Is they knew that, you know, that was just to show that the hood was opening, and then you would get it, open it up, and break that piece. Right? That's what I was supposed to do. Cool, though. Old Majorette. Another made in France Majorette. Just that stuff's cool. I like it. All right, we got another one. Another one. Range Rover. This one, probably not made in France. It doesn't say it on the base. And normally it does. This is made in Thailand. Range Rover District 3 Fire Department. We got a Range Rover with a ladder on the top. Which is removable, but we're going to leave it. It's like hooked in right there. You could remove it. I am not going to, because I'm just afraid I'll break it or it won't go back on. Suspension. Yes. Headlight detail-ish. Again, just kind of a cool old Majorette, and I enjoy this old weird stuff. Oh, look at what we got. Hardy har. Am I going to open it up anyway? Sure am. What's the difference? We got two of these. All right, one will go in the for sale pile. That nobody will probably want. But yeah, now we got two of those. That's fun. We got a tank. Command tank. This is... This is Hot Wheels? Huh. I had no idea. I had no idea that this was going to come out as a Hot Wheels. Copyright date 1983. Hot Wheels Malaysia. Little tank number. I had no clue. Look at that. Little dudes in the back. Army dudes. That folds up. This turret moves and goes up and down. How fun. That's kind of neat. Like I said, I had no clue that this was actually Hot Wheels. He had multiple ones of these too, and I could have grabbed more. Maybe I should have. All right. Here we go. Datsun Z300ZX from Blue Box, made in Macau. Blue Box toy. What a stance on this guy. I mean, could it get any worse? We do got that very poorly functioning, not as good as the Porsche. That doesn't really want to do it. It's got the rubber band in it, but it's like melted and recessed into the tire, so it doesn't actually touch anything. Like you can't, I don't know. It's poorly made. Very poorly made, but very weird, very cool. If I ever do collect, I collect all these Z's too, so it's something. All right, I think we're done. This is it. This is the last vehicle here, and it appears to be an Erdl. I read the base already. It's an Erdl. It looks like a drag car, and it looks like it's also likely a pullback. So pullbacks were pretty popular back then for good reason, right? They're just fun. Launch them across the floor, kitchen floor. But we got a drag racing pullback. When it's quick. Yeah. Ooh, did you see that? Barely. It's so fast. Do pullback races. Yeah, this one's got some speed to it. The old, what does that say? Something Thunder. What does that say? Temesa? Tennessee. Temesa. Tennessee! The Tennessee Thunder! Dyersville, Iowa. Made in China. What is this? Is it like a Vega drag car? I don't know what it is. Somebody let me know. I'm sure it's supposed to be a real vehicle. Made after a real vehicle. But we don't know. I think this is rad. Again, stickers, though, for the tampos. But they're in good shape, and they're sort of hanging on. I need to figure out a way to make these sticky again and stay on. What is the best option for that? All right, that's going to be it for this video. 40 minutes! I'm sorry about that. Well, thank you guys very much for watching. If you didn't watch part 1, go ahead and watch it. It's more of this crazy stuff. If you did, thank you for watching both videos and taking up basically well over an hour of your time. I do appreciate that. Thank you guys very much. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Again, this stuff isn't a playlist. All my stuff is fairly organized in there. So if you want to see more oddball stuff like this, the vintage, older, secondhand, whatever it is, playlist, that's on there. That's the one to go to. And you can enjoy more content similar to this. Thank you again. Have a great day.